the complex world of love, it's not just men who excel at deceit and manipulation. Women, with their keen understanding of psychology, can also employ cunning strategies to control their partners without them even realizing it. Don't let yourself become a victim of these sweet love traps. Let's explore 6 common psychological manipulation tactics that women often use. From playing the role of a pitiable victim to engaging in calculated mind games, all will be revealed in this video. Have you ever found yourself in situations where you felt confused, not understanding why you were acting according to someone else's wishes? Or have you constantly wondered why your relationship is hitting a dead end? Don't worry, this video will help you identify the signs of manipulation and equip you with the knowledge you need to protect yourself. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss upcoming videos about the psychology of love and relationships. Together, let's build a healthy and happy love life. Have you ever felt like you're lost in a maze of emotions where the woman you love changes her attitude as quickly as a spinning top? One day, she's a gentle muse, caring for you in every little way, making you feel like the luckiest man in the world. But the next day, she suddenly transforms into an ice queen, cold, distant, even avoiding you as if you don't exist. If you've ever experienced this confusion and bewilderment, chances are you've become the target of the hot and cold tactic. One of the most subtle and cruel psychological manipulation tactics women use. This tactic is a cunning, two-faced act, interweaving 2 opposing extremes: excessive care and love, hot, and indifference and coldness, cold. The woman using this tactic will constantly change her attitude, sometimes sweet, sometimes bitter, making you feel like you're caught in a whirlwind of emotions. Initially, they will shower you with love, praising you endlessly, giving you affectionate gestures, listening to all your thoughts and desires, making you feel like the most important person in their life. But as soon as you start to trust and open up to them, they will suddenly change 180 degrees, becoming cold, distant, not answering messages, avoiding calls, and even acting annoyed when you're around. The purpose of this tactic is nothing more than to manipulate your psychology, making you dependent on them. When treated erratically, you will always have to try to please them, doing everything to make them happy. You will become sensitive to every little change in their attitude, always worried about what you did wrong. In this way, the woman will achieve her goals, creating dependence, increasing self-worth, and controlling the relationship. To avoid becoming a victim of this love game, you need to recognize the signs of the hot and cold tactic: sudden changes in attitude, no clear reason, always making you feel guilty and controlling you. If you realize you're being manipulated, don't despair. Remember, you deserve to be loved and respected. Don't let anyone play with your emotions. To deal with this situation, you need to be aware of the problem. Stay calm, set boundaries, focus on yourself, and seek support from friends, family, or a therapist if necessary. True love is not a game. Be strong, confident, and find someone worthy of your affection. Subscribe to my channel for more useful information about love, psychology, and relationships. In romantic relationships, we are sometimes bound by invisible strings woven from expectations, responsibilities, and complex emotions. Men are often taught that they are responsible for making their woman happy, cared for, and protected. However, this very expectation can sometimes become a powerful tool for women to manipulate and control the relationship. The second tactic women often use is to make men feel guilty. Perceptive women realize that men often feel responsible for their happiness and cleverly exploit this weakness to achieve their goals. They may use tears and veiled accusations like, "You don't care about me," "You disappoint me so much," or "You don't understand me at all," to make men feel guilty and blame themselves. These words are like sharp arrows piercing the hearts of men, driving them to do anything to appease her, agree to her demands, and even sacrifice their own desires just to make her stop crying. Furthermore, women can also use the carrot and stick tactic, alternating between sweetness and affection, then coldness and indifference. This erratic change in attitude leaves you confused, anxious, and unsure of what to do to please them. You will always have to try to guess their intentions, doing everything according to their wishes to avoid their anger or terrifying silence. Some women also use guilt to attack men's insecurities by comparing them to other men, criticizing their appearance, job, or abilities. These words are like knives cutting into your self-esteem, making you feel inadequate and unworthy of their love. If you find yourself a victim of emotional manipulation, don't despair. Remember, you have the right to be loved and respected. You are not responsible for the emotions of others. Be aware of the problem, stay calm, set boundaries, and make it clear to the woman that you do not accept such treatment. Focus on yourself, love and respect yourself, and don't let negative words from others hurt you. If you find it difficult, seek help from friends, family, or a therapist. Remember, a healthy relationship is based on mutual respect, trust, and understanding. Don't get caught up in this manipulative and toxic love game. Have you ever been in such a manipulative relationship? If not, you're lucky. But if you have, please comment with the number 2 so we can share with you. Number 3, the power of suggestion, a subtle trap. Suggestion is a subtle psychological technique that women can use to manipulate men, placing them in situations where they do not realize they are being controlled. This technique does not directly demand or order, but, through clever suggestions, stimulates men to voluntarily act according to the woman's desires. To better understand the power of suggestion and how it can be used, we will delve into the psychological, emotional, and social aspects related to this topic. Suggestion is an indirect way of communication where the speaker conveys a hidden message in their words. Instead of making a clear request, they simply mention or talk about something vaguely and cleverly so that the listener understands and acts in the desired way. For example, a woman might mention a pair of shoes she loves or a dress she saw online and liked, without directly asking you to buy it. Instead, she says things like, "I would be so happy if a man did that for me," or "I have never had a man buy that for me." Psychology explains that suggestion works based on the human brain's obsession with unfinished tasks. When we hear suggestion, our brain automatically processes that information and starts thinking about how to fulfill what we have been suggested. This is particularly effective in romantic relationships, where men often want to please their women. Suggestion also exploits men's sense of responsibility and desire for recognition. When a woman suggests something she wants, men often feel responsible for fulfilling that desire to make her happy. This not only creates invisible pressure, but also increases the likelihood that men will act on that suggestion. Consider a real-life situation. You are at a shopping mall with your girlfriend. When passing by a shoe store, she sees a beautiful pair of shoes and says, "These shoes are so beautiful. I would be so happy if someone gave them to me." Although she doesn't directly ask you to buy the shoes, that statement plants the idea in your mind that you should buy them for her. Or when the two of you are watching a movie at home, she might say, The woman in this movie is so happy to receive gifts from her boyfriend. I have never had a man surprise me with gifts like that. This statement is not a direct request, but it creates a sense that you should do something similar to make her happy. Suggestion can have a powerful impact on a relationship, especially when used frequently. It can make men feel pressured to continually meet the woman's desires to maintain the relationship. This can lead to psychological fatigue and stress, reducing the quality of the relationship. However, if used correctly, suggestion can also help strengthen the relationship by creating surprises and joy for both parties. When a man responds to his girlfriend's suggestion, she will feel loved and cared for, thereby enhancing the bond between them. To avoid being manipulated, it's important for men to recognize when they are being suggested to and understand the purpose behind the woman's words. Some ways to identify and deal with suggestions include listening carefully, paying attention to the tone and context of the words. If something feels off, or if the statement seems out of place, it could be a suggestion. Ask directly when you suspect you are being suggested to. For example, "Do you want me to buy those shoes for you?" This helps clarify the intent of the other person. Most importantly, set boundaries for yourself. If you feel pressured or uncomfortable with the suggestions, clearly communicate that you cannot or do not want to fulfill all their desires. The power of suggestion is a subtle psychological technique that women can use to manipulate men without directly ordering them. Understanding the psychological mechanisms behind suggestions and recognizing when you're being manipulated will help you protect yourself from unnecessary pressures and maintain a healthy relationship. Always stay alert and know how to deal with subtle suggestions to maintain control and happiness in your relationship. Number 4, withdrawal, a subtle tactic in relationships. Women know how to make you worry and blame yourself while they smile and watch you wonder what you did wrong. Men are almost programmed to believe that if their woman is silent, something must be wrong. You automatically fall into a state of panic and start thinking if you missed a birthday or an anniversary, or if you did something wrong. Then you try to make up for something you didn't even do wrong in the first place. Women do this to keep you on your toes and never too comfortable or take them for granted. Withdrawal is a psychological tactic that women use to control and manipulate their male partner's emotions. When a woman suddenly becomes silent or distant, men often fall into a state of anxiety and self-questioning. They start thinking about what they might have done wrong or what they might have forgotten. This creates a sense of insecurity and the need to act to restore balance in the relationship. When women use this tactic, they often don't explain why they have become silent. This increases the panic and confusion for the male partner. They may start to wonder if they did something to hurt her, or if they forgot an important event. This lack of clarity makes men feel they have to do something to fix the situation, even if they are unsure what has happened. A typical example is when a woman suddenly stops communicating or becomes less talkative. If she was previously enthusiastic and shared everything, this sudden change would make the male partner anxious. They will start thinking and analyzing their actions to find out why she has changed. This can lead to them trying to make up by giving gifts, showing more affection, or doing anything to make her happy again. However, the real purpose of this tactic is not for the male partner to understand what went wrong, but to keep them always alert and never too comfortable in the relationship. Women can use this tactic to create a sense of mystery and unpredictability, making men always strive to please them. This helps maintain control and power in the relationship, as men always feel they have to do more to maintain the woman's affection. This tactic not only creates insecurity, but can also affect men's self-esteem. When they feel they always have to chase and make up, they may start to doubt their ability to maintain a healthy relationship. This can lead to psychological fatigue and dissatisfaction in the relationship. To cope with the withdrawal tactic, it is important for men to recognize when they are being manipulated and learn to stay calm. Instead of panicking and trying to please their partner immediately, they should take time to analyze the situation and determine if there is actually a problem. They need to learn how to communicate effectively and straightforwardly with their partner, asking why she has become silent and finding a solution together. Furthermore, men need to build their confidence and self-esteem to avoid being manipulated by this tactic. They should understand that they do not always have to please their partner to maintain the relationship. Calmness and confidence will help them stay firm and not easily get caught in the cycle of insecurity and worry. In a healthy relationship, both sides should have mutual respect and understanding. The withdrawal tactic may be a sign of a lack of communication and understanding. Therefore, building a relationship based on sincerity and open communication will help prevent manipulative behaviors and keep love enduring. In summary, withdrawal is a subtle tactic that women can use to control and manipulate men's emotions. However, by recognizing and understanding this tactic, men can learn how to cope and maintain their confidence in the relationship. Building a relationship based on sincerity, effective communication, and mutual respect will help prevent manipulative behaviors and maintain lasting love. Number 5, the love bombing technique. In the dance of love, there are mesmerizing steps that draw us into a whirlwind of sweet emotions, but hidden behind the smiles and affectionate eyes sometimes lies a sophisticated tactic, a love bomb cleverly planted to capture your heart completely. Love bombing is a masterpiece of manipulation, a symphony composed of notes of praise, flattery, and passionate affection. It comes like a gentle breeze, softly creeping into your soul, then gradually erupting into a storm of passionate love. You will be swept into a magical world where you are the center of the universe, the most perfect person in the eyes of your muse. On the first day, she will whisper sweet nothings in your ear. "You're so handsome, I've never met anyone with a smile as radiant as yours." On the second day, she will discover commonalities between the two of you, as if your souls were destined to meet. On the third day, she'll confess that she has never fallen for anyone so quickly, that you stole her heart at first sight. On the fourth day, she will paint a bright future, where the two of you are a perfect couple, born for each other. And then, on the fifth day, she will express her love, making you drown in happiness and believe that you have found true love. But be careful. This is just the prelude to a cunning play. Once you have completely fallen into the love trap, when your heart has been given entirely to her, that's when the love bomb explodes. She will start to change, becoming cold, distant, even demanding and controlling. You will feel confused, bewildered, not understanding what is happening. You will try everything to hold on to her love, but the more you try, the deeper you sink into the mire of manipulation. Love bombing is not just a tactic, it's an art. The woman who uses it is like a talented artist, skillfully manipulating your emotions, turning you into a puppet in their hands. They know how to create moments of extreme happiness, then push you down into the depths of despair. They know how to make you crave their love more than ever, so that when you are completely dependent on them, they will begin to reveal their true nature. So how do you escape this love trap? Be alert and clear-headed. Don't let sweet words and gestures blind you. Look at her actions, see how she treats you when there are no compliments or flattery. Listen to your intuition. If you feel something is wrong, Trust your gut. Above all, love and respect yourself. Don't let anyone manipulate and control your life. You deserve a sincere love, where you can be yourself, be respected, and loved unconditionally. If all of this sounds familiar, if you've been repeatedly deceived, taken advantage of, and disrespected in relationships, don't lose heart just yet. Stay tuned for the next part, where I'll explain why this happens and share secrets to help you break free from this cycle and find a genuine and lasting love. Many men often express their frustration with phrases like, "She lied to me from the beginning," "She seemed so good," "She deceived me." The reality is that women don't always lie, but they often don't tell the whole truth, leaving you to recognize the warning signs for yourself. Every woman who has hurt, used, or deceived you has shown you red flags from the very beginning. You just chose to ignore them. When women meet a man, they often reveal subtle red flags right from the start. For example, they might display these through their provocative dress sense or their very liberal sexual behavior. This could be a sign that they might not be faithful or have a liberal view of sexuality that doesn't align with your expectations. You can also learn a lot from how they talk about their exes. If they say their ex was terrible and toxic, but still express lingering feelings, it indicates unresolved emotional baggage. Parenting behavior is another crucial indicator. If a woman doesn't prioritize her children or refuses to let another man have access to them, it shows that she might not be willing to share responsibilities or could be overly controlling. You might think you will be the exception and can change the situation, but in reality, she has already shown you her stance clearly. Another example is how they manage relationships with those around them. If they frequently badmouth friends or family, it's a sign they might lack loyalty and respect. You might think they are just venting, but in reality, they are showing you how they treat close ones during conflicts. Paying attention to these red flags when starting a relationship is extremely important. Sometimes you might get caught up in emotions and fail to see these signs clearly. You might make excuses for them, thinking these things will change over time or that you can make them happy. However, recognizing and accepting these signs will help you make wiser decisions. A woman who displays red flags is not necessarily a bad person, but those behaviors and attitudes might not align with you and could cause problems in the future. The key is having the confidence and self-respect to not overlook these signs. If you feel uncomfortable or uneasy, it's time to listen to your feelings and act accordingly. If you are a man with low self-esteem who values connection over the respect she shows you, you will always be manipulated, deceived, and disrespected by women. Low self-esteem makes you readily accept inappropriate behaviors from your partner because you fear losing the relationship. You might think maintaining the connection is more important than anything, even if you have to sacrifice your self-esteem and sense of security. Consequently, you become an easy target for manipulation and exploitation. Women can detect low self-esteem in men by observing how impressed he is with her beauty. When a man is overly impressed by a woman's appearance, she gains power over him. This occurs when you focus too much on looks and neglect your intrinsic values. Being enamored with external beauty makes you vulnerable and easily exploited. The most beautiful woman in the world would line up for a not-so-attractive man if he is not overly impressed by her looks. This means your confidence and self-worth should not depend on your partner's appearance, but on your inner qualities and capabilities. When you lack experience in interacting with beautiful women, you can quickly become infatuated and lose your composure. This makes you an easy target for manipulation. Women recognize your lack of experience and low self-esteem through signs like excessive admiration of their beauty, lack of confidence in how you present yourself, and easily accepting inappropriate behaviors. When they notice these signs, they might start testing and pushing your boundaries to see how you react. If you don't know how to stand up for yourself and establish clear boundaries, you will easily be overwhelmed and lose control in the relationship. This can lead to being used, deceived, and disrespected. Women may feel they have power over you and use this to manipulate you as they wish. This situation is very dangerous, as it not only damages your self-esteem, but also affects your personal and mental development. One of the clearest signs of lacking self-esteem is not daring to set boundaries for yourself. This means when your partner acts disrespectfully, you recognize the offense, but choose to remain silent for fear of upsetting them and disrupting the current relationship. You would rather sacrifice respect to maintain peace. However, men who prioritize peace over their self-respect often cannot keep the woman they love. Of course, I'm not advising you to raise your voice when she makes a mistake. Instead, calmly let her know that her behavior makes you uncomfortable. If, after multiple reminders, she continues to cross your boundaries, don't repeat yourself, but choose to walk away. Allowing yourself to be disrespected and unable to decisively leave that relationship, you lose not only her, but also her respect for you. She will understand that she can go further in future arguments. But if you show her that you are willing to withdraw when she crosses the line, she will learn to respect your boundaries. Many men make the mistake of rewarding bad behavior when women cross their boundaries. Instead of setting clear boundaries, they unintentionally reward this behavior by pleading, begging, buying gifts, or doing similar things. This teaches her that she can deceive and disrespect you and still be pampered and indulged. Remember, a healthy relationship needs to be built on mutual respect. Don't be afraid to set boundaries and protect your values. Only when you love and respect yourself can you receive respect from others. Recognizing and accepting that you might be a victim of manipulation in a relationship is not easy, but change can only begin when you dare to face the truth. Once you realize you're being manipulated and emotionally abused, you can start finding ways to break free from the web of control she has woven around you. Let's examine these 14 signs and be honest with yourself. Do you see any of them in your relationship? If you relate to most of these signs, it's time to stand up for yourself and protect your self-worth. Otherwise, you'll continue to be trapped in the cycle of manipulation. Anxiety. Every time she makes a request, you feel anxious, fearing she'll ask for something you can't fulfill, but you also don't dare to refuse. Self-loathing. You blame yourself for being weak, realizing she's taking advantage of your kindness, but lacking the courage to confront her. Inability to say no. You can't refuse her. The mere thought of saying no fills you with panic and helplessness. Justifying your actions. You try to convince yourself that you're not being manipulated, that you're doing those things because you genuinely want to help her. Feeling bad. You feel like a bad partner friend if you refuse her requests, no matter what they are. Escalating expectations. She constantly demands more from you. No matter what you do or how much you do, she's never satisfied and keeps making new demands. Inability to stay silent. You can't simply say no and end the conversation. You feel the need to explain and justify your decision, while she never does the same. Remember, you deserve love and respect. Don't let anyone control or manipulate you. If you notice these signs in your relationship, be strong, speak up, and seek help if necessary. Leaving a toxic relationship can be a tough decision, but it's the first step towards reclaiming your freedom and finding true happiness. If you take today's lesson to heart, I believe you will not only attract deserving women, but also become a more valuable man in everyone's eyes. Always value yourself, set boundaries, and don't allow yourself to be disrespected. Thank you for listening to my sharing today. Be alert and wise when navigating the complex world of relationships out there. Many people are ready to exploit and hurt you for their own purposes. When you recognize signs of manipulation, be brave enough to speak up or walk away, as there is no good future with such people. See you in the next videos. I wish you strength, confidence, and happiness on your journey to finding true love. Goodbye. And remember, you deserve a genuine love, where you are respected and loved for who you are. Never lose your self-worth just to hold on to an unhealthy relationship. Believe that somewhere out there, someone is waiting to love and cherish you the right way.